I will read to you now a poem that I wrote quite a few years ago. I call it The Poem That Never Ends, and its inspiration was Lamb Chops, who sings a song that never ends. And if you're familiar with that little character, you will know. If you're not, just Google it, The Song That Never Ends, and you will hear it. It goes over and over the same verse. So that is how I started this. So now I will read it. This is a poem that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. One day I started writing it, not knowing what it was, and I continued writing it forever, just because. This is a poem that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. One day I started writing it, not knowing what it was, and I continued writing it forever, just because. I know you want this poem to end, for it to not begin again. And I'm going to end it soon. The message to ensue will show you that you're acting out a cycle like this too. For so many do complain, talk about their grief and pain. We've been talking about it now since day one did begin. For when we split the cell in two, we started saying, me and you. Mine and thine became our theme, and mine, not thine, we echoed too. It happened each and every time when we got into fear. The fear, you see, became control. Saying things would make them so. So we began then to create, and we created with our fear. Thinking that there was a you and me, our oneness disappeared. Until our fears piled up so high, we forgot our descent from the sky. Pretty much, we were earthbound, and we kept going round and round. We didn't realize that with our words we could create. So when we put our brother down, those words we said, they would rebound. You know that fear turns into hate, and yes, with hate we could create. We had thought that we were only trying to survive, and so we thought of many ways in order to provide. Security became our quest, and so we started to devise. There were oh so many things our minds were cooking up. The fun we had, the terror too, the dramas that would then ensue. We came into a time of fear, 'cause we no longer knew our place had been to be a God descended from above. We didn't know our mission here was to become the love. We wanted only to survive, and many times in order to, we would take from others what they were holding in their hand. We forgot that our purpose here was to serve our fellow man. So we started to complain about all the grief and pain, and our talking about the things our eyes would look upon made things not change. Our words, you see, were creating our reality. So I'm writing this long poem. It's my way to make it plain, to get a lot of us to just start looking at our thoughts. The way you know to get control is to lose the fear. But then you know it won't happen if we allow ourselves to be choked up with fear and recounting all the things we see as being bad. The telling of it o'er and o'er, it's such a pain, it's such a chore. To talk about them is just like this poem that goes forever on. Forever we could talk about the things we're calling wrong, until we finally realized it's taking way too long. So I have made a long, long poem to show you of our Father's plan. Not to call the things we see, for that's not the way of God. For we can call what is not, just as though it were. And you know what we can say? My words will not return unto me void, but they will go out there to accomplish all my will. I call it done. I call it good. And I call it in the name of me. For we are God's, you see. No need to call it blasphemy. In His image we were made. We are creators too. Our words, you see, they are the key to changing our reality. So we must watch that little tongue, for it is set on fire of hell. For the hell we make, we're living in it now, and we can make another choice. That's what we're here to do. Turn the page here. We will have heaven on earth. We are here to bring the birth, for we are the sons of God the world is waiting for. We're bringing light, and light is truth, and truth is love, unconditional love. Unconditional love we have. We don't call things good or bad. We have no rules to make you follow, no forms of control. We won't possess, we won't dictate. We'll show you how to give up the hate. You know, sweet earth's evolving too. And though the workers may be few, you see it only takes a few, you know, to get it done. So all will know, and we can have heaven below. When we learn just how to walk, when we finally walk our talk. We've been going round and round, you see, but now it's time for mastery. And it begins with you and me. So let it all begin with you. You know, your heart knows what to do. We've been playing around and round with this, but there is waiting so much bliss. Only listen to your feelings now. Don't try to intellectualize. Don't only look with physical eyes, for the Spirit wants to move in you. Mother Earth is pushing through. She needs the help that comes from you. And now the world is speeding up, for kindergarten school is through. The bell has rang for all to hear. The message we make clear. We're proud to say no more delay. The end is near. The end is near. Now we are going to graduate. We're going to lift our banners high and embrace the joy, and all is well. There is no devil, there is no hell. There is only God, and God is love. And the complaining all will end, and then my poem will dissipate. The fear that's given us such hell on earth recognizes now the light. There's no more fear, there's no more night, and the gates are opened wide. There's no place for fear to hide. And everyone will say, I need no belief. I know I'm love, unconditional love. God has descended from above. We have risen up to meet. Our resurrection is complete. Now as below, so up above. The world is filled with so much love, of which there is no end. Oh yes, there's more of this to come, but for now, the poem is done. Oh, about time.